Hackers may have stolen every American Social Security number. The steps you should take now to lock down your credit. 8 million student loan borrowers in the new SAVE plan have been placed in forbearance. What that means for your student loans. How all that lost luggage at the airport turns into fines for savvy shoppers. And what proposals to end taxes on tips could mean for service workers and people who don't work for tips. And thanks so much for joining us on Dollars and Cents. I'm your host, Heather Sullivan. Now, hackers may have stolen every American Social Security number and personal information in the latest hack, and you need to take steps now to protect yourself before thieves can cause you some financial damage. Matthew McClellan with Fox 13 in Tampa has some tips.
There is some dispute over the accuracy of the data that's out there, even reports that some of the numbers may be overblown because of duplicate records, but at any rate, a major hack followed by a leak means some of your most personal, sensitive data may be exposed. A group of hackers claiming to have stolen the Social Security numbers of every American. Reports say nearly 3 billion records of personal information, including names, addresses, and Social Security numbers, were then leaked. It's believed the information comes from a business called National Public Data, which, according to its website, is used by other companies to obtain criminal records, background checks, and more.
I think people should be very upset about this. They should ask, why is this company, why do they have all of that information? And when they had it, who was making sure that they were protecting it?
If confirmed, Cyber Defense Group CEO Lou Rabone says this is a big deal and Americans should be concerned. However, this type of thing seems to happen so frequently, a lot of people have breach fatigue. So let's talk about what you should be doing right now. We should all be monitoring credit reports for possible fraudulent activity. If you're already doing this, great, but be on higher alert in light of this hack. And of course, notify credit bureaus if you see something suspicious. Also, place a security freeze on your credit accounts. Go online to each of the 3 major credit bureaus, that's Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax, and freeze your credit file. It is free. Just remember, you will need to unfreeze it next time you need to borrow money. It's also good to manage your passwords. Use ones that are complex. I recommend a password generator that also saves those login credentials. And finally, turn on 2-factor authentication to prevent hackers from assuming control of your accounts. Reporting in Tampa, Matthew McClellan, Fox 13 News.
All right, and 8 million student loan borrowers who just signed up for the new SAVE plan to lower their payments are now getting notices that they are in forbearance. What does that mean and why is it happening? Well, the Education Department says that means that no payments will be due and no interest will accrue while courts consider a legal challenge to the SAVE plan. Opponents are arguing that the debt forgiveness program exceeds the Biden administration's authority, especially since the Supreme Court already blocked an earlier Biden forgiveness plan. The Biden administration is asking the Supreme Court to step in. Well, payments on the SAVE plan will be paused until the courts rule. Now, in the meantime, you need to prepare for payments to resume eventually. So if the SAVE plan is tossed out, you want to prepare for the possibility that your payments could go back up to what they were before. Just be prepared for it. If the courts approve the SAVE plan, that means that your payments will drop to 5% of your discretionary income for most borrowers. And if you want to continue making payments during the forbearance, they actually will not count toward loan forgiveness. So you need to be aware of that. But if you do want to just keep up the payments anyway, be sure to talk to your loan servicer about it. And remember, the SAVE plan includes loan forgiveness after you make 10 years of payments on loans under $12,000. We've got the latest information on all of this on Sullivan Smart Sense on Fox26Houston.com. So just go there to get the latest. All right, well, would you believe that egg prices are on the rise again? July marked the 3rd straight month that egg prices rose on an annual basis, up about 20% from last year. The average price of a dozen eggs in July was $3.08, and officials say bird flu outbreaks are leading prices to not be so sunny side up. Now, we've all seen luggage pile up at the airports. What happens if no one ever comes to claim it? Well, the contents are actually sold at deep discount, meaning you can save big on sometimes designer clothing, jewelry, and electronics that are found inside luggage. Well, you know, so many people end up losing their luggage. We know you've seen those bags kind of stack up at airports. Ever wonder what happens to them if nobody ever comes to claim them? Well, we're going to show you today, and we're also going to show you how that means you can pick up some really neat finds for a lot less money. I'm joined by Sunny Hood. She is with Unclaimed Baggage. Thanks for being with us.
Yes, thanks so much for having me.
Yeah, and so you guys buy bags after the airline has reimbursed the passenger for the lost bag. You buy them, and then what happens?
So Unclaimed Baggage steps in, and we have stepped in since 1970. We buy those bags from the airline sight unseen, and then they're brought back to our facilities in Alabama, where we have a team of bag openers who will go through the contents to determine how to give a second life to all of the items inside.
Yeah.
And oftentimes that's being sold either in our one and only brick and mortar in Alabama or at unclaimedbaggage.com.
That's right, where anybody can do some
Exactly.
shopping.
Yeah.
And we're gonna open a bag for the first time to show you, you know, what we just might find inside. So, oh my goodness, this
I'll
is
let you do
heavy.
the honors.
Yeah, wow.
So we, every single day in our physical store in Scottsboro, we do something called the Unclaimed Baggage Experience, which is what we're doing.
Yeah.
And it's where we take an unopened suitcase and someone gets to go through the contents, and we can tell you what our team might do behind the scenes, because
A Michael
everyone wants
Kors
that
bag.
behind the scenes look, right?
Yeah.
And so we like to say that every bag tells a story. I think these might be what for your
knees, knee supports.
And so the first thing, whenever we open up a bag, is
Hair
that
straightener.
traveler
Yeah.
going to their destination, were they coming home? To me, this looks pretty neatly packed.
It's very neatly
which
packed.
is telling me they were likely en route to their destination.
Yeah.
And I don't know about you, but I'm actually smelling something that smells pretty good.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's not the case when we open up these bags. So I feel like there's some fresh, clean laundry in here too.
Yeah, it sounds like it. We've got some, I'm just
So-
going to try and get some earrings, but there's some nice earrings right here.
We have some earrings tucked away. So as we're pulling out all of these items, we're looking for a few different things. If it's a clothing item, we want to make sure that it's in great quality. If it's going to hit the sales floor. And
very
so we're
nice.
looking for stains, rips, tears, things like that. To me, this looks like it's in pretty good shape.
Yeah.
So would you say we would sell it, donate it, recycle it, or clean it?
Sell it.
I think we could sell it. Is
Yeah.
there something we might do first?
Clean it.
We would clean it, so everything is nice and clean before it hits the sales floor. But anyway, yeah, if you want to, you can be the star of the show.
Well, this is, you know, this, you could tell this is a person who's very into fitness, and I'm sorry that she lost all these great little finds. But hopefully, you know, she was reimbursed for that. And then, but the idea here is you can save a lot of money because you can then buy some of these items on sale on the website.
Right.
And the discounts are amazing.
Yeah, so we typically price our items anywhere from 20 to 80% off suggested retail value. You know, we don't like to say we're a thrift store, though.
Okay.
You know, thrift stores are full of things that people got their wear out of it. They no longer wanted it. They're giving it away. Our store is full of things that people like so much they packed it with them to take on vacation. So it's typically people's nicer items.
Thanks so much for being with us. We appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, Heather Sullivan, Fox 26 News. And I've got a link to that for you on fox26houston.com. Okay, have you seen this? This is the world's largest 3D printed neighborhood. It's 100 homes that are being 3D printed for the Wolf Ranch community. This is in Georgetown, Texas. Builders say they are heat resistant and they can withstand an EF3 tornado. However, they may have some issues with Wi-Fi connectivity. But overall, they are designed to save money, save time, and save manpower. The homes cost from $450,000 to $600,000. And changes are underway in the way that homes are bought and sold. This after the National Association of Realtors announced that it would pay $418 million to settle lawsuits that were accusing it of conspiring to keep realtor commissions high. It's not admitting any wrongdoing, but it is agreeing to change the way that home buyers and sellers pay agents. Take a look. Two changes are coming to how realtors are paid for helping you buy or sell a home. Before, sellers typically paid 5 to 6% of a home's selling price, with half going to the seller's agent and half going to the buyer's agent. Selling a $400,000 home could cost the seller $24,000 in commissions. Now, that commission cannot be listed on the Multiple Listing Service, or MLS, and buyers must now sign a contract with a buyer's agent before touring a home, agreeing to pay the agent's commission unless the seller pays it.
They're going to ask you to sign a written agreement that could be as short as 1 house, 1 hour, and that's all the agreement's good for, or it could be more extensive if you're wanting to exclusively work with that realtor.
The Consumer Federation of America is concerned that some of these contracts may be too complicated.
Buyers in particular should make certain they're able to read and understand the contracts, and if they can't, it's very important that they seek assistance from an attorney or other expert.
An analysis by TD Cowen Insights predicts competition between agents could cause commissions to fall 25 to 50%, which would be more entries.
And if rates come down from 5 to 6% to 3 to 4%, that will represent savings to consumers of $20 to $30 billion a year.
Regardless of the changes, many experts advise people not to buy or sell a home without a qualified agent.
To ask your realtor how long they've been in the business, how many homes have they sold. Just make sure that you feel comfortable in having conversation with them, because during the process of buying and selling a home, you're going to talk to your realtor a lot.
And the CFA also recommends that buyers ask for a short touring contract just to see one home, so you have a chance to see how you like working with that agent first before signing a longer-term contract. All right, we all know sometimes we put pressure on ourselves to earn more or save more money when we hit a certain age, right? How much should we have at 20, 30, or even 50 years old? Well, Brett Lemoyne with Fox 6 in Milwaukee talked with an expert on how to navigate life's financial milestones.
The search for Kiana Ayala's dream home
We wanted to find a house that was close to where my boyfriend works.
isn't over yet. In August, she made an offer $2,000 over the asking price for this Milwaukee ranch, but after a closer look, she decided it wasn't the right fit.
Was that crushing?
It was because it was like, it checked all the boxes for us.
Ayala has been saving up for more than a year and a half to become a first-time homeowner.
If I'm being honest, saving is like a muscle that I had to develop.
She cut back on things she didn't need. Instead of going to restaurants for dinner, she cooked. A night out with friends became a night in.
I set the goal to be a homeowner by 30 because I felt like my 20s, like transitioning into adulthood, I just wanted time to kind of figure out how to do life, for lack of better words.
The weight of her own expectations started to take a toll.
When you don't take those steps, maybe in the speed as some other people, you can kind of start to doubt yourself.
Experts say that's where most of us go wrong trying to reach life's financial milestones. Don't compare your finances with someone else's. Instead, make your money have meaning.
The more you spend time on why money matters to you and build, even if you've got scarce resources, really use those resources on things that matter most to you, I think you have a better chance of living a more fulfilled and happy life.
Joe Meyer is Director of Wealth Management at Milwaukee's Johnson Financial Group. Most of his clients are in their 50s or 60s. Here's what Meyer wishes he could tell them had they stepped through his door decades earlier.
For every 20-some-year-old that's coming out of college, make sure that we have conversations with them that say, try to build your budget on 80% of what you bring home or 90% of what you bring home.
Meyer gave us his 2 cents on how to do that, even if you're living paycheck to paycheck. First, he says, ditch the plastic. Pay off your credit card debt and stop using them unless you have money set aside to cover it. Second, save with a purpose. Have an understanding of what you're saving for, whether it's retirement, a better life for your kids, or like Ayala, a dream home. Meyer says that makes it easier to set financial goals.
It's less about a number and more about habits.
And I wanted to be move-in ready. We didn't want to move in and have to start fixing roof or like plumbing.
Ayala's search has only intensified. Her real estate agent urged her to take a home buying class. She says saving money became fun. Her dream home now much closer to reality.
If you want your future self to be somewhere, your current self has to start doing the work.
With photojournalist Eddie Poser in Milwaukee, Brett Lemoyne, Fox 6 News.
Some really great approaches in there. I love that. All right, well, many parents and students are shopping for bargains on clothes and supplies now that school is starting back up again. But the Better Business Bureau is warning you to also watch out for some back-to-school scams.
You want to look for some shirts? Just look around.
It's back-to-school shopping time.
It's chaos.
But add up a couple of years of inflation and many families are having to subtract from their budgets. We caught up with savvy shopper Isabella Jade and her 2 children at Target.
I'm always looking for the buy one get ones or the even a 25% off. I'm always looking for a sale here when I'm shopping.
She's shopping online too for secondhand clothes.
I'm definitely now going on eBay daily. Actually, I was going on eBay probably 5 times this week just to check out if I could get a better deal.
But as parents shop for deals, the Better Business Bureau is warning you to watch out for fake ads on social media and fake websites offering hot items at low prices.
Scammers know, they're opportunists. They know what's in demand. They know what's sold out everywhere. So they create pop-up sites. They create ads to kind of lure you in, and they capture you. They capture all of us.
They say use a credit card with fraud protection and look for that secure lock on store sites.
We recommend, only putting bank account information or credit card details on a secure website, highly encrypted. It's called SSL certificate.
Bought a new laptop or tablet? Experts say watch out for tech support scams. If you get an email or alert saying there's a tech issue, don't click it. Contact your software provider or school's IT department instead. And scholarship and financial aid scams are running rampant. Thoroughly check out any organization offering a scholarship before you apply or log into their site. Because as families work with tight budgets,
This year, when I'm thinking about back to school, I'm feeling my budget is slashed in half.
the last thing you need is to lose money to a scam. Experts are also warning you to watch out for phishing emails where the sender is pretending to be a school official from your student's school. Well, 10 of the most popular and expensive prescription drugs will now have lower prices for Medicare patients. This is the first of new efforts to negotiate prices with pharmaceutical companies that are expected to save consumers billions of dollars.
This is a game changer for our country.
Senator Amy Klobuchar authored the bill allowing Medicare to negotiate prices like private insurers do. As a result, managing diabetes and blood cancers and preventing heart failure or blood clots won't be as expensive. But some people wonder how much they'll really save.
The concern is that the cost is just going to switch over from the pharmaceutical to the insurance and push up the insurance.
Drug company lobbyists say Medicare recipients can expect increased premiums, even though the federal health insurance program stands to save $6 billion a year. They also say this leaves them less money to invest in innovation.
The pharmaceuticals need the money to develop new drugs, but there's got to be a better solution to how we are paying so much more than other countries.
Americans do typically pay a lot more for prescription drugs than people in other countries. For example, when Bristol Myers Squibb introduced Eliquis in 2013, a year's supply cost $3,100 in the U.S. compared to $1,000 in Japan. Today, the price is more than doubled in the U.S. while declining in Japan. Even after the newly negotiated prices, American patients will still pay more than 3 times what they're paying in Japan.
I can't speak to what they are in other countries, but it is such a significant price reduction that it's going to be a game changer for Americans across the country. And this is just the beginning.
And let's talk about an idea that's getting a lot of buzz. Both presidential candidates, Donald Trump and Kamala Harris, have proposed ending income tax on tips. So Fox's Rebecca Castor takes a look at what that could mean for all kinds of workers.
It's an idea that's extremely popular with service and hospitality workers. No taxes on tips.
I love the idea. I would definitely prefer to not have taxes on my tips, and I think that I speak for most servers when I say that.
I think it's a way to save some money for just regular folks.
Both Donald Trump and Kamala Harris are promising to make it happen if elected to the Oval Office.
When I get to office, we are going to not charge taxes on tips. There will be no taxes on tips. No taxes on tips.
It's been part of Donald Trump's economic pitch to voters since June. Then Harris made the same pledge at a rally on Saturday.
We will continue our fight for working families of America and eliminate taxes on tips for service and hospitality workers.
She didn't say, I agree with Donald Trump, we should not tax tips. Here's an area where we agree. She just stole it.
Harris is taking some heat for seemingly copying Trump on the issue. Regardless, the idea is gaining bipartisan support in Congress, with 2 bills making their way through the House and the Senate. Even though a budget watchdog warns this practice could decrease federal revenue by up to $250 billion over the next decade.
It would create an enormous incentive to shift income from pay and wages to tips.
No matter who lands in the White House, it would likely take legislation from Congress to implement a no tax on tips policy. In Washington, Rebecca Castor, Fox News.
We'll keep you up to date if anything happens on that. So, do you like to chat with your hairstylist, or would you prefer some peace and quiet? More hair salons are offering silent services. Fox's Jessica Formoso reports this is a growing trend.
We all know when we go to the hair salon, we go for more than just a haircut and a blowout. We go to vent and gossip with our hairdresser.
Would you like a silent appointment?
But salons across the city and country are now offering a new unique service, a silence appointment. No talking between the hairdresser and the client.
I think it's a new way that we're moving towards, especially in the service industry.
Silent appointments here at the Sam Mercado Salon in Soho began 3 months ago. Jenna Bisk, who is the director and partner, says they've become very popular in a short period of time.
We didn't think that it would be as popular as it is right now. Probably we get about 1 to 2 a day.
She says she noticed after the pandemic that more and more people were working from home, and the afternoon appointments, which were usually not busy, became busy.
A lot of people are working remotely right now, but they still want to come in and get their hair done, and they can do that while they're here. It's a great work from home space or a great remote working space. Additionally, we've noticed a shift in more social anxiety since COVID. So there's a lot of people that might be nervous to come in and have to make small talk with a service provider.
A new trend Katie is loving.
I think it's so convenient. I work remote, so it's really great to be able to come sort of multitask and continue to get work done while I'm here.
Booking a quiet appointment is free and easy. You can call it in or book it right on their website. The hairdresser sees the alert and knows that there is no chit-chatting.
A few weeks ago, there was a girl and she said, I requested a silent appointment today because my boyfriend wouldn't let me, but I just wanted to listen to the complete Taylor Swift new album from start to finish.
Nowadays, there is no reason not to get your hair done. You can come in and work or just relax. And of course, you can always gossip. In Soho, I'm Jessica Formoso, Fox News.
Something to think about. All right, before we leave you have to see this next story because it is a great initiative by a young boy inspired by something that he learned about on TikTok. So take a look at this. He saved up his money and he bought a used vending machine. Then he loaded it with snacks and he put it in his dad's office. Well, he first started out, he wasn't really making much money. So then he moved it to a higher traffic area in the office. The boy says sales started taking off. Now, his mom says that she was worried about letting her son use TikTok, but now she says she's impressed by what he learned from the platform, adding that his new business is helping him learn hard work and creativity. Talk about a smart way to do a side hustle. All right, that's our show. Thanks so much for joining us. Drop me a line on Instagram, Facebook, and X. It's all Heather Sullivan, Fox 26. And you'll find more ways to save every day on Sullivan Smart Sense on fox26houston.com. And we'll see you next time right here on Dollars and Cents.